What's up, guys? How's it going today? Me? Well, am I ever feeling it yesterday after all of that pizza and pudding? But that's over with. Now, today, we're going to talk about injuries. Yeah, they happen, and yes, they absolutely suck. You know, you find yourself starting to get into that good routine. Your workouts are going good. Your belly, it's starting to shrink. You're starting to see a little bit of definition in your muscles or more muscles. Everything is going good, and then bam, you tear out your knee, or you pop your shoulder out, or you break a bone. It sucks. It sucks so much because you're never going to be able to go back to your sports or whatever, your workouts, whatever, at 100%. You're down to 50%, or even in some cases, you're out for like months. So today, what I want to talk about is how I work to get myself back in the game as quickly as possible. Well, the first thing, it's pretty obvious. It's just don't get injured in the first place. I know some injuries, they're unavoidable. You get a roundhouse kick to the head, boom, concussion. You get a body checked into the boards, hit on your shoulder, boom, your dislocated shoulder. Those things, they're unavoidable. But other things like a sprained wrist or a sprained ankle or a muscle pull on your hamstring, those injuries, they can be avoided. So injuries like that, well, they could be avoided by doing some simple things. Things like stretching before you exercise. I'm not getting any younger. Gone are the days where I can go from sitting at my desk for 8 hours a day and then boom, sprinting down, doing a 100-meter sprint, as fast as I can. That's a great way to blow out your hamstring. And believe me, I've done that. So along the same lines of getting a good stretch, you gotta warm up your body. You gotta get that blood pumping. You gotta get that heart going. You gotta get ready to do the thing before you actually do the thing. You know what I'm saying? So after you do your stretches, you warm up, you do your exercise, you do your sports, whatever it is, you have a really great workout. Then after, you have to think recovery. Now me, I love Muay Thai and I love Jiu-Jitsu. When I was doing it, I love it so much, I'm doing it 2 or 4 hours a day, 5 or 6 days in a row, just bam, 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 non-stop. And then before long, I start to feel some pain in my shoulders, my wrist is kind of tweaking every time I hit the punching bag. And then before I knew it, I was out. And I haven't done any training it's been over a month now since I've done anything. Every day I was just pounding on my shoulders and pounding on my wrist, punching those heavy bags, rolling around with some guys even weighing 300 pounds are on top of me, trying to push them off, whatever, all of that damage, and I didn't let it rest. I would just go on, do it the next day, do it that night, do it in the next morning, do it again at night. It was too much, and that gradual buildup of pain and tweaking on my joints or whatever, and then it just said, my body was just like, you know what, forget it. You can't do this anymore. You're out. So you got to let your body recover. You need that rest. It's better to have 1 or 2 days of voluntary rest than to have 1 or 2 months of forced rest. Now, if you do find yourself in the unfortunate position of actually being injured, I think there are a few things that you can do to help make sure that you get out there as fast as possible. And that's really has to do with strength training. Now, of course, there's going to be injuries like, a concussion or a broken bone where absolutely you need to rest and you can't, start doing strength training on a broken leg, for example. See your doctor. I'm not a doctor here, obviously, but for certain injuries, like for me, my wrist pain or my shoulders are feeling, they're not quite there, they're sore, the muscles tense, or maybe I did a little tweak or a sprain here and there. Those things, I think you can get started training them right away to strengthen them to help you get back into the game. So as an example, for me, with my wrists and my shoulders, every day and sometimes even twice a day, I'm doing a bunch of different stretches and some strengthening exercises just to make sure my range of motion is there and I get those muscles stronger, get those joints working. And it really helps me. Like every day I can feel that I'm getting stronger and I'm getting to the point now where I'm close to returning. And I know that if I miss a day or two of doing any of these exercises, that I start to feel like my shoulders are getting sore again or that my wrists are kind of flaring up a bit. So getting at those points of injuries and really strengthening them, working every day to strengthen them is really going to go a long way into making sure that you can recover as quickly as possible. And of course, you have to listen to your body. If you're doing any motions after a sore shoulder, for example, and you're lifting your arm up and you're feeling pain, like a sharp pain, then stop. It's obviously not good. You have to listen to your body. Do what your body's telling you. But if you're lifting up your shoulder and you're feeling a slight bit of pain or whatever, but you can fight through that and you can push through that and you can feel that it's going to help you strengthen your muscles or your joints or whatever's in there, right? Then keep going. Keep doing what you're doing. It's your body. You know what feels best. You got to do what you think your body needs in order to recover. So one of the things that I really want to work on to help me avoid getting injuries in the first place is calisthenics, which is body weight exercises and movement. So the basic idea here is to train the body in all the natural movements that the body is capable of doing, and working in a lot of body weight exercises in those movements, so that way you can strengthen your whole body and you can strengthen all your joints and all the ways that your body can bend and move. You strengthen all those connections so that when the time comes, when you do get in that situation where there's a blunt force trauma that could cause an injury, your body could be used to that movement and therefore resist getting injured. And it's just like, oh, well, I'm used to moving that way anyways, so, no big deal. Away we go. But, if you don't train in that specific type of movement, like this, for example, punching a bag, and then your wrist, and if you miss the bag and your wrist goes down a little bit like this, that could throw out your wrist. But if you do training every day that helps strengthen this movement, you'll be okay when the time comes, when you hit the bag and you do hit it off, you're okay. Your wrist is used to that movement, right? I hope that makes sense to you guys. Basically, I'm just talking about training the body in movement and doing movements that our sedentary lifestyle is just not used to. We're used to sitting at a desk for 8 hours a day, sitting on our car to commute, sitting on our dining room table to have our dinner, sitting on the couch to watch TV, sitting on the bed to read. We don't move the way that we really can move because our bodies are quite impressive. We can do a lot of stuff with it. We just don't move anymore, and that's what I want to explore. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'd love to know, have you ever been injured? Well, I don't love to know if you've ever been injured, but I'd like to know if you have been injured and what have you done to recover from that injury. Let me know in the comment section down below. And of course, I will see you tomorrow.